Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're exploring a truly compelling paradox, I think. It's one that really challenges our notions of expertise and intellectual boundaries.
It really does.
Imagine an author whose published works include titles as intensely practical as Tactical Training with Firearms and Combating Islamic Jihad. Books clearly rooted in the demanding realities of physical security, right? Counterterrorism.
Absolutely. Very grounded, very real world.
Now, consider that same individual has also penned these deeply theological explorations like Unveiling the Divine and The Final Days of Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
It just begs the question, how does one mind bridge such, well, seemingly disparate worlds?
Yeah, how does that happen?
How does a person so adept at analyzing tangible threats also navigate the complex, often, abstract spiritual landscapes of ancient faith?
It's a fascinating convergence, definitely, and it's what we're eager to unpack with you today.
Our subject is Shawn Armstrong, and the sources we have describe him not just as a writer, but as a multifaceted authority.
That feels right.
And truly, after digging into his work, that descriptor feels entirely appropriate. We're talking about someone who clearly operates with a high degree of intellectual rigor, dedication, across fields that, well, at first glance, appear to have very little in common.
Indeed. And for this deep dive, we have two key sources guiding our exploration. First, there's a document called abouttheauthor.pdf, which details his pretty formidable professional background and an impressive list of security-focused publications. This gives us the grounding, in his more conventional expertise.
Okay.
Then we have passionseries.pdf, which delves into his personal motivations for writing and outlines his series of Christian-themed books.
Okay, the why.
Exactly. So our mission today is to really embark on an intellectual journey with you, exploring this fascinating trajectory of Armstrong's work. We'll unpack what drives his dedication to both personal safety and spiritual understanding.
Looking for those connecting threads.
Yeah, revealing the often surprising connecting threads and the valuable insights within his diverse body of work. We aim to understand not just what he writes, but why he writes it, and ultimately what it means for a deeper understanding of the world around us.
Sounds good.
This is a unique opportunity, I think, to gain knowledge quickly but thoroughly, and we anticipate you'll find those satisfying aha moments as we connect these seemingly unconnected dots.
Excellent. So let's start by laying a solid foundation. Shawn Armstrong possesses, well, an undeniably formidable academic background, one that unequivocally establishes him as a serious expert in security. This isn't just someone with a passing interest in self-defense.
Not at all. Far from it.
His educational journey is incredibly rigorous, comprehensive, and highly specialized. He began with an Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice from Tompkins Cortland Community College.
Okay, a practical starting point.
Right? A practical grounding in the legal and procedural aspects of law enforcement and crime. Building on that, he then pursued and earned a Bachelor of Arts in Homeland Security from the Naval Postgraduate Program.
Now that's interesting. The Naval Postgraduate Program, that's not your typical undergrad route?
No, exactly. It's renowned for its intensive graduate-level education focused on national security, defense, public safety, mainly for military and government personnel.
Right. So it signals a serious dedication to complex, high-stakes security challenges from early on.
Absolutely. And his academic pursuits didn't stop there. He further specialized, completing a graduate diploma in counterterrorism, specifically focusing on Islamic Jihad, again from the Naval Postgraduate Program.
Wow. So very specific.
Very specific. This isn't a general overview. It's a deep dive into the ideology, history, operational aspects of a very specific complex threat. And to further solidify his expertise, he undertook specialized training in military emergency management at the Military Emergency Management School.
Okay, so layers upon layers of specialized knowledge.
Exactly. What truly stands out about this education is its depth and specificity. It's not just a broad interest in security.
No, it's clearly a systematic understanding.
Yeah.
Crisis management, response strategies, precise threat analysis.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Right. This academic rigor points to a mind dedicated to thorough research, critical thinking, and practical application in scenarios where the stakes are incredibly high.
And it uniquely positions him, doesn't it, to analyze complex, high-stakes situations from multiple angles.
Definitely. Whether those involve physical defense, emergency response, or understanding conceptual threats like terrorism, he's trained to see patterns, understand motivations, strategize solutions.
In environments where uncertainty is often the only constant, that's a key skill.
Absolutely.
Huh.
And his commitment extends far beyond the classroom, straight into influential published works that reinforce his expertise and maybe, in some cases, even hint at the direction his intellectual curiosity would eventually take.
Okay, let's hear about those.
Let's look at a few examples. His book, Tactical Training with Firearms, is described as critical resource for those seeking proficiency in firearms martial arts.
Firearms martial arts. Interesting phrasing.
Isn't it? This isn't just about learning to shoot. The source emphasizes a blend of physical prowess and strategic thinking.
Ah, so it's holistic, mind and body.
Exactly. It suggests a comprehensive approach to self-defense, integrating the precise mechanics of firearm use with the critical mental and tactical considerations involved in high-pressure scenarios. It's about developing a whole skill set, not just a physical one.
Got it. Makes sense given the background.
Then there's Combating Islamic Jihad, a title that, well, immediately speaks to the serious real-world application of his counterterrorism diploma.
Right, directly applying that specialized knowledge.
This book reportedly delves into historical contexts and contemporary challenges surrounding terrorism.
So understanding the roots and the current landscape.
I imagine it provides a crucial framework for understanding the ideological roots of global threats, perhaps analyzing specific case studies, their evolution, geopolitical factors.
It wouldn't just be descriptive, you mean, more analytical.
I'd think so. It would likely offer insights into analytical frameworks for understanding these complex global threats. Maybe even discuss counter-recruitment strategies or the psychological warfare inherent in modern terrorism.
Empowering readers with knowledge to dissect and respond, moving beyond just the headlines.
Exactly. And then we come to Warrior's Path, the journey of modern karate, which offers a really unique perspective, I think.
Okay, how so?
This book explores the philosophical underpinnings and practical applications of karate within modern society.
Philosophy. Okay, here's maybe a hint of that shift.
Maybe. What's particularly intriguing here is that it doesn't just describe physical techniques or historical forms. It delves into the deeper why behind martial arts.
Like discipline, ethics, mental fortitude.
Precisely. Concepts required not just for physical combat, but for a mindful existence. This is where we might glimpse the first subtle thread connecting his world of practical defense to something deeper, more reflective.
The same kind of comprehensive thinking he'll later apply to spiritual understanding, perhaps.
It seems plausible. How does the warrior's path for physical self-defense prepare a mind for, say, the warrior's path of spiritual exploration?
It almost seems like a precursor, doesn't it? Establishing a mental framework for rigorous self-improvement and profound understanding, regardless of the domain. Discipline applied differently.
That's a really insightful observation about the philosophical leanings in Warrior's Path. It makes me wonder if that book was a kind of stepping stone, you know? A moment of introspection that opened new pathways.
Could be.
And indeed, it's consistent with Armstrong's broader approach, because he's not just a scholar reflecting on the past. The sources highlight that he's actively shaping the future of security through his current engagement.
Oh, what's he doing now?
This includes his involvement in developing new training modules for aspiring instructors.
Ah, training the trainers, passing on the knowledge.
Exactly. This commitment to fostering resilience and preparedness within communities across the globe truly underscores his dedication to equipping individuals.
A theme that, as we've noted, will echo powerfully in his other seemingly disparate works. It speaks to a proactive, empowering approach.
Right. Recognizing that knowledge and preparation are fundamental tools for anyone facing uncertainty.
He's not just passing on information. He's building capacity for individuals, for communities, helping them navigate complex challenges with more confidence, more competence.
It's about creating systems of self-reliance, whether that's in physical security or, as we'll see, maybe in spiritual understanding.
Fascinating parallel.
So the burning question that naturally arises is,
Yeah.
how does a mind so meticulously trained, so deeply immersed in the tangible realities of criminal justice, homeland security, tactical training, how does it pivot to writing deeply theological works?
Yeah, that's the big leap, isn't it? Yeah.
This isn't just a simple career shift. It feels like a profound intellectual and personal reorientation. What was the catalyst? What could be so powerful it could bridge these seemingly irreconcilable worlds?
Our sources point to something quite specific, right?
They do. A truly personal and pivotal moment that set him on this unexpected trajectory. And it started with something as common as watching a film.
What film? Which one?
It all began when he watched The Passion of the Christ by Mel Gibson.
Okay. A very intense film.
Very. Apparently, this film sparked something inside him, leading to a profound curiosity about the stories and events that shaped Christianity.
It's just sparked by watching it.
Yeah, it wasn't a passing thought. It propelled him to dive deeper into the history and meanings behind these powerful moments.
It's quite something, isn't it? Here's a man so deeply invested in the very concrete, often brutal realities of security.
Right.
And it's a piece of art, a film, that sparks this profound internal shift. What truly stands out here is how media can ignite such a profound intellectual and spiritual journey.
Especially for someone with such an established, practical, analytical background.
Exactly. It wasn't just casual interest. It led him to dedicate significant time and effort to explore further. This raises an important question for us, maybe for our own lives. What makes someone with such a practical background pursue such an intensely philosophical, historical path? It suggests a fundamental curiosity that transcends typical disciplinary boundaries, maybe. A desire to understand profound truths, whether they relate to physical safety or the very nature of human belief.
It highlights how an unexpected spark can lead to a complete intellectual reevaluation. It's quite profound.
It is.
And it's crucial, I think, to understand his personal stance and motivation for writing these books, because it's deeply personal and certainly not dogmatic.
He makes that clear.
Very clear. He's not coming from a place of proselytizing or pushing a particular agenda. The source tells us that as a believer with strong faith, he states he never considered himself a zealot or someone who pushes beliefs onto others.
Okay, that's important context.
His explicit goal is to understand my faith better and to help others do the same.
So it's exploratory for himself and others.
Exactly. This personal and exploratory approach makes his work incredibly accessible, I think. Whether you're a devout believer, someone with a different faith, or simply curious about the history and impact of Christianity.
The invitation is one of shared discovery, not conversion.
Right. It aligns perfectly with our Deep Dive's mission, to explore and understand, not to persuade or convert.
That's a really important distinction, and it speaks volumes about his character as an author. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this philosophy resonates deeply with his security work, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, in both fields, there's a drive for foundational understanding and equipping individuals with knowledge, allowing them to navigate complex realities, whether those are physical threats or profound spiritual questions.
Okay. Knowledge as empowerment in both realms.
Precisely. His statement that learning about our beliefs can bring us closer to understanding ourselves and the world around us beautifully encapsulates this underlying drive. It's about fostering personal agency, fueled by understanding, in all aspects of life.
It's almost as if the same analytical framework he applies to understanding an adversary, he now applies to understanding scripture-seeking patterns, origins, implications for resilience.
That's a fascinating way to put it. The methodology might be similar, even if the subject matter is vastly different.
And given his rigorous academic background in security studies, it's really no surprise that his research approach for these theological books was described as an exciting adventure.
He dove right in, I assume.
Oh, yeah. He didn't just pick up one book or consult a single perspective. He read many different sources, talked to people with various beliefs, and reflected on my own experiences.
A multidisciplinary, multi-perspective approach. Hallmarks of rigorous inquiry.
Exactly. Seeking truth through broad investigation and critical evaluation. And critically, he aimed to present these complex ideas in a way that's easy to understand,
Making it accessible.
ensuring everyone, regardless of their background, can grasp the concepts. This seems like a key element of his pedagogical style.
Which speaks volumes about his pedagogical skill, right? Probably honed by his extensive instructional background in self-defense and security training.
Good point.
He understands that knowledge is most valuable when it's accessible and impactful, much like a well-designed training module. His desire to make these deep theological and historical concepts easy to understand isn't about oversimplification, surely.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
It's about clarity, structure, effective communication, enabling a broader audience to engage with profound ideas without feeling overwhelmed, breaking down complexity into digestible, meaningful parts.
That's a skill in itself,
Yeah.
essential for both technical training and profound intellectual exploration. And this isn't a one-off project for him. It's clearly an ongoing intellectual and spiritual exploration.
He plans more.
Yes, he plans to write more books in the future, continuously building on what he's learned and shared so far. His vision is to create a space for conversation and connection among readers.
Oh, that's engaging, interactive.
Isn't it? Such an inclusive idea. It sounds like he envisions this as a living body of work, not a definitive dogma, inviting you, the listener, to join him on this continuous journey of exploration and discovery.
Not just consuming information, but actively participating in the conversation, finding your own meaning.
Exactly. It's an open-ended invitation to learn and grow together.
Very cool.
So now let's dive into his first book in the Passion series, Unveiling the Divine, Monotheism and the Ancient World. This takes us right back to the foundational roots of Western faith.
Okay, the beginnings.
This book is a captivating exploration of how Judaism laid the groundwork for early Christian beliefs and chronicles the emergence of monotheism against a backdrop of polytheistic traditions.
Right, setting the stage.
Imagine, if you were, the ancient world around the Mediterranean. Bustling cities, vibrant cultures, each with countless gods and goddesses, often very human-like in their passions and flaws, tied to specific places, natural phenomena, human endeavors.
Zeus, Hera, Ra, Isis, hundreds of local deities, a whole complex pantheon.
Exactly, a rich, complex tapestry. Then into this emerges this radical, singular concept of one divine entity, one God, transcendent, all-powerful.
A truly revolutionary idea back then, challenging the very fabric of ancient religious thought.
Hugely revolutionary.
And that shift from a world of many gods to one God is indeed profound. Armstrong's book argues it's foundational. What's truly striking here is the book's core argument regarding the audacious claim of Christianity that God became man.
Right, the incarnation.
And how that challenged and transformed the understanding of divinity among Greeks and Romans. This wasn't just a new religion popping up.
No, it's much bigger than that.
It was a fundamental paradigm shift that shattered previous understandings of the divine and the human. How did these established polytheistic cultures grapple with this?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Their pantheon had human-like gods, often capricious or aloof. How do they deal with a single transcendent God who also willingly took on human form, lived among them, suffered?
It must have been intellectually jarring.
For Greek philosophers, the idea of a perfect, unchanging God becoming flesh, experiencing human limitations, that would have been intellectually scandalous.
And for the Romans.
For Romans, the notion of a divine king who was crucified as a criminal, that challenged all their symbols of power and authority.
Wow. So it raises huge questions about the profound cultural, philosophical upheaval Christianity represented.
Absolutely. Forcing a reevaluation of everything they thought they knew about divinity, humanity, salvation. It was a complete reordering of their spiritual universe, sparking debates that echo even today.
And Unveiling the Divine really explores this rich tapestry of history and thought with remarkable detail, it seems.
Does it go into specific figures?
Yes. It examines pivotal figures like Jesus, whose life sparked debates that reshaped faith, and Constantine, whose reign marked a turning point for Christianity.
Ah, Constantine. Moving it from persecuted sect to imperial religion, a massive shift.
Huge. But it goes even further, delving into the influence of Greek philosophy and Roman unity. This is crucial because it illustrates how these powerful intellectual and political currents weren't simply absorbed passively by early Christianity.
They were actively debated, challenged, integrated.
Exactly. For instance, the concept of incarnation, God becoming human, was revolutionary to Greek thinkers used to gods separate from human frailty.
And the idea of divine authority often clashed directly with Roman imperial power structures, right?
Absolutely. The book shows how these cultures grappled with concepts like salvation, incarnation, and divine authority, leading to the sophisticated theological doctrines that define Christianity today.
It's a powerful illustration of how faith interacts, sometimes violently, sometimes harmoniously, with intellect and political power.
Definitely not a smooth journey.
No, and the book apparently highlights that. The immense challenges faced by early believers. It addresses the courage of early Christians amidst persecution and their struggle to define their faith against heretical movements.
That's vital context. We often forget the immense pressure.
Both external threats, persecution, martyrdom under Roman rule, and intense internal debates over core doctrines.
Like Gnosticism, Arianism.
Exactly. Those early Christian sects offered alternative interpretations of Jesus' nature, the path to salvation. The book likely explores how early church councils and theologians grappled with these challenges, often at great personal risk, to articulate a unified understanding.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture,
It underscores the intense intellectual and physical battles that forged early Christian identity. The faith wasn't born in a vacuum. It was hammered out in the crucible of societal resistance and internal theological debate.
Understanding this context is crucial for grasping the resilience inherent in the faith's early development.
Absolutely. It shows how a belief system can not only survive, but thrive under extreme pressure, solidifying its core tenets in the process.
Okay, so moving from that broad historical sweep across centuries, Armstrong's next book, The Final Days of Jesus Christ, narrows its focus intensely.
Down to a specific pivotal period.
Right, this is a profound exploration of the pivotal moments that shaped Christian theology and continue to resonate through history. It meticulously researches the historical context of Roman-occupied Judea,
Setting the scene again, but much tighter.
revealing the intricate political and religious tensions that surrounded Jesus during his final days. Imagine Judea under Roman rule, not just a colony, but a powder keg.
Simmering dissent, differing religious beliefs, fervent nationalistic aspirations among the Jewish populace.
And the dual power structures of the Sanhedrin, the Jewish high court, alongside the ultimate, often brutal authority of Rome.
An incredibly volatile environment. Every word, every public action by someone like Jesus carried immense political and spiritual weight.
Capable of igniting widespread unrest. This background is essential for understanding the dramatic events that unfolded.
That context is everything, isn't it? Makes the events of those few days even more impactful. The book truly takes us through the dramatic, agonizing sequence of events. Passion narrative.
The Last Supper onwards.
Exactly. From the poignant Last Supper, where betrayal looms, to the agonizing moments in Gethsemane, where humanity meets divinity. It then covers gripping accounts of his trials, first before Jewish authorities and then Roman rulers.
Illustrating that clash of beliefs and power dynamics that led to his crucifixion.
Right. And what's particularly striking here, according to the source, is the emphasis on the humanity meets divinity aspect in Gethsemane.
Okay, tell me more about that.
It suggests this isn't just a historical recounting of suffering. It's an exploration of the profound theological meaning embedded in these moments, highlighting Jesus' dual nature, fully human in his agony and prayer, yet fully divine in his acceptance of his purpose.
And the trials.
They're depicted as a clash of not just individuals like Pilate or Caiaphas, but entire belief systems and political powers. Roman law versus Jewish law, earthly kingdom versus spiritual kingdom, showing how deep the societal and spiritual fissures ran.
It's a moment of immense tension, where the fate of an individual becomes intrinsically linked to the future of an entire faith.
Precisely.
And then, the central event that changed everything. The pivot around which Christianity revolves.
The resurrection.
The book explores the transformation sparked by the resurrection and its implications for Christian faith. This isn't just an ending. It's presented as a profound new beginning.
A moment that fundamentally redefines the narrative of human existence and the relationship with the divine.
Right. The book delves into how this event became the cornerstone of Christian faith, fundamentally redefining concepts of death, hope, eternal life. What were some of the immediate implications for early believers? How did they interpret this radical event?
And it explores the enduring legacy, too, right? Beyond just theology.
Yes. Not just in theological texts, but in countless famous artworks. Think Michelangelo's Pietà, Dali's surreal depictions, or profound philosophical works by thinkers like Kierkegaard, grappling with themes of sacrifice, redemption, suffering.
So its impact across culture.
Exactly. This thought-provoking volume invites you, the listener, to truly reflect on the significance of these events and their relevance in contemporary belief systems. It's about understanding how these ancient moments still shape our culture, ethics, personal belief systems today.
Perhaps in ways we don't always consciously recognize, impacting everything from art to moral philosophy.
Definitely. Okay, finally we turn to Veils of Prophecy, which tackles one of the most mysterious and, let's face it, often misunderstood books of the Bible, Revelation.
Revelation. Yeah, that's a challenging one.
Definitely. This book is described as an illuminating exploration of Revelation, a text famously shrouded in mystery and prophetic vision, yet one that ultimately unveils a profound tapestry of divine judgment, hope, and human resilience.
So trying to make sense of the symbolism and drama.
Right. It's a book that can often feel daunting, filled with rich symbolism, dramatic imagery, but Armstrong aims to make it understandable and relevant.
And what's crucial here, you mentioned earlier, is the context, right? He doesn't just interpret.
Exactly. The book doesn't just present the text and offer interpretations. It examines the rich historical contexts that birthed this apocalyptic narrative. This is absolutely vital,
delving into the specific circumstances when it was written.
revealing the intentions of John the Apostle and addressing the struggles faced by early Christians. Imagine the original audience. Communities facing persecution under the Roman Empire.
Grappling with questions of faithfulness, suffering, the ultimate triumph of good.
Understanding this context, the specific audience, their experiences, the sociopolitical climate, is key to interpreting its complex symbolism.
Rather than just reading it literally without context, which can lead to, well, some wild interpretations.
Exactly. Without this contextualization, you might be tempted to read it as a simple blueprint for future events. Instead, Armstrong's approach encourages a deeper, more nuanced understanding.
Understanding a text that offered both comfort and challenge to its original readers, and maybe to us too.
It helps clarify why John wrote what he did and what it meant to those who first received it.
Got it. Context is paramount.
The book then moves from context to the core messages, and their surprising relevance, perhaps, to our modern world. It intricately analyzes key themes: divine sovereignty, moral decay, and the battle between good and evil.
Okay, the big things.
And here's where it really gets thought-provoking. The book uncovers how contemporary events reflect the prophecies outlined in Revelation. From natural disasters to political turmoil, each chapter deciphers symbols that resonate with our current reality.
Now, how does he approach that? Is it literal prediction?
It seems important to clarify, based on the source description, this isn't about predicting specific future events in a literal sensationalist sense.
Okay, good.
Rather, it's about encouraging you, the listener, to consider how ancient prophecies, often rich with symbolic language and archetypal struggles, can be seen to reflect recurring patterns in human history and the challenges we face today.
Pattern recognition. Reflection on cyclical struggles and triumphs.
Right. The enduring fight between light and shadow, how these ancient warnings might still offer profound insights into our present circumstances. Inviting reflection, not literal prediction.
That makes more sense. And it's not just an academic exercise, you said. It has a purpose for the reader.
Correct, which again ties back to that core theme of equipping individuals. The book offers a balanced approach that invites theological discourse and personal reflection,
Serving as both a guide and a call to action for those seeking understanding in these tumultuous times.
Crucially, it urges readers to consider their own spiritual preparedness.
Which raises an important question for all of us, doesn't it? In this world of information overload, constant change, uncertainty, how do we discern meaning from ancient texts?
And how do we apply that understanding to our personal and collective challenges today?
The book aims to equip you for that profound journey of sense-making, internal preparation, maybe even finding hope amidst chaos.
A tall order, but a fascinating one.
Indeed.
So we've journeyed through Sean Armstrong's world, from the tactical realities of self-defense and counterterrorism,
To the ancient mysteries of faith and prophecy.
So what does this all mean? How do these distinct, seemingly disparate areas of expertise truly connect? At first glance, it feels like two completely separate universes.
It really does.
But when you step back, maybe a coherent picture begins to emerge. A mosaic that, once assembled, reveals a fascinating, unified vision.
That's precisely right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, a clear unifying theme emerges from Sean Armstrong's diverse body of work. He is deeply committed to equipping individuals.
Okay, that core idea again?
Whether it's providing the skills necessary to navigate the complexities of personal safety and security through his self-defense instruction and books,
Or offering insights and knowledge that can help readers explore their own faith journeys through his Passion series.
both endeavors are fundamentally about empowering people, giving them crucial understanding for resilience and preparedness.
And you mentioned the skills required might overlap.
I think so. Both fields, at their core, require rigorous analysis, a deep dive into historical context, an understanding of human behavior, and strategic thinking.
Whether confronting a physical threat or grappling with theological questions.
Exactly. Armstrong seeks to provide foundational knowledge. He wants to help people make sense of complexity and prepare for what lies ahead in both the physical and spiritual realms.
And you speculated earlier that maybe his background in understanding threats and vulnerabilities.
Yeah, maybe that gave him a unique lens through which to explore the spiritual battles and moral decay discussed in his theological works.
And his approach to clarity and training, translating to clarity in explaining faith.
His approach to clarity and structure in self-defense training also likely translates directly to his desire to make complex spiritual ideas easy to understand for a broader audience. It's all about providing tools for navigation.
For living a life that is both secure and spiritually rich.
That seems to be the connection.
And his journey truly exemplifies the richness that comes from exploring multiple fields, doesn't it? Without being confined by traditional academic or professional silos.
He doesn't stick to one narrow area of knowledge. He embraces the joy of discovery across vast intellectual landscapes.
For you, the learner, this is a powerful illustration, I think, of how curiosity, thorough research, and a consistent commitment to clarity can lead to profound insights, regardless of the subject matter.
It shows the incredible power of a curious mind to find connections where others might only see divisions, to seek a holistic understanding of what it means to be prepared, really, in every sense of the word.
What an insightful journey we've had into the mind and work of Sean Armstrong. We started by grounding ourselves in his solid foundation: criminal justice, homeland security, self-defense.
Exploring his crucial contributions to personal safety and counterterrorism, his academic rigor, practical publications, clearly a serious authority.
And then we uncovered the surprising yet deeply personal pivot to his Passion series.
A deeply personal exploration of Christian faith, driven by a sincere desire for understanding and shared inquiry, not by proselytization.
We examined how his books, Unveiling the Divine, The Final Days of Jesus Christ, and Veils of Prophecy, each meticulously unpack historical contexts, complex theological concepts, and their enduring relevance to our modern world.
It's a remarkable testament, really, to intellectual breadth and spiritual depth, showcasing that consistent drive to equip individuals with knowledge.
So what stands out to you from our conversation today? Perhaps it's the sheer breadth of his intellectual curiosity, the courage to explore seemingly divergent paths.
Or maybe it's that consistent thread of equipping individuals with knowledge for navigating a complex world, whether those complexities are physical dangers or profound spiritual questions.
As you continue your own journey of learning, consider how often true understanding comes from looking beyond expected boundaries, much like Sean Armstrong has done.
What seemingly disparate areas of knowledge might actually hold profound connections, just waiting for you to uncover them in your own deep dives.